1992, a video game developer known as id Software obliviously released a game that would create a new genre. A genre that would overpopulate the gaming market in the distant future.
That genre was the first-person shooter, and that game was Wolfenstein 3D. So, what was the game about?
Well, you played a captured American spy, typical, who must kill a bunch of Nazis to escape a castle stronghold.
Of course, a game that featured dogs being shot to death, tons of blood,
and Nazi symbolism, such as a swastika, meant that it received plenty of controversy. To stay on the safe side, Nintendo of America heavily edited the original game for the SNES port. They removed all Nazi symbolism, along with Adolf Hitler as a boss character, replaced blood with sweat and dogs with giant mutant rats.
Apparently, according to urban legend, id Software was so angered with Nintendo's censorship that they gave their source code to Wisdom Tree. Who were Wisdom Tree? They were a manufacturer and distributor of unlicensed Christian video games.
So they made games based off Bible stories to interest children into religion. So Wolfenstein 3D got turned into Super Noah's Ark 3D, a game that saw you play as Noah, putting all the animals on your ark to sleep.
So the question is, did id Software really give Wisdom Tree the source code to make an unofficial clone?
A clone to mock Nintendo and exact their own revenge?
It does sound pretty stupid, but let's look into it and see if we can find the truth.
The first question is, how did Wisdom Tree get a hold of the source code?
Noah's Ark 3D was released in 1994, but id Software didn't publish the source code for Wolfenstein publicly till July of 1995. Perhaps the headquarters of the two companies were close together, but they weren't. Wisdom Tree was headquartered in Tucson, Arizona, while id Software was originally based in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's an 18-hour journey by car.
Even if we include their new headquarters in Texas, we're still talking about a 15-hour drive.
Seems like a pointless journey to deliver a source code for a game that would never become officially licensed anyway.
But what if they posted the source code to Wisdom Tree?
That seems like a waste of time and postage.
Exactly.
Or maybe Wisdom Tree hacked a copy of Wolfenstein 3D and modded it to make it their own version.
True, they could retexture the walls, replace the enemies. It's plausible.
However, one piece of information has revealed the answer. In an interview with Brenda Huff, former sales supervisor of Wisdom Tree, she is asked if id Software gave Wisdom Tree the source code. Her reply is, quote,
I know that we did have the engine and that we got it from id Software. Other than that, I have not further information.
This is proof that id Software gave Wisdom Tree the goods. Although, on further investigation, we found out that there is an ironic twist.
Turns out, Wisdom Tree were originally called Color Dreams, and back in the time of the NES, they were planning to produce a game based on the 1987 horror film, Hellraiser.
However, when their ideas were too ambitious for the NES hardware, they decided to release it for the PC instead.
Here's the kisser. They licensed the engine of Wolfenstein 3D to make the game, but due to the huge success of Doom, another id Software game, they cancelled the project. Instead, they used the engine to make Super Noah's Ark 3D and released that game in Christian bookstores all over America.
So while it's true that id Software gave the engine to Wisdom Tree, it was intended for a Hellraiser video game.
Not revenge.
Which means the urban legend is false. But there was some truth behind the madness. Remember, if you have any other video game mysteries, then let us know in the comments below.
Alright, can I get more screen time now?
No!